to the sun with me, so I can show you something you've never seen. And both you and I shouldn't be too shy by letting go for once. Come and be free with me.
Pizzeria coffee, which means it's Italian, which means a coffee should be good.
Run that past me again, your logic, your female logic.
Italians, famous for pizza, famous for good coffee. I've got masks in here if you want one. So, first we go on with
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain.
fried onions and fried mushrooms.
And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Dreamy breeze.
So here we have mine, which is Frankfurter sausage, onion, mushroom, cheese. And here we have Ian, which is onions, mushrooms, pineapple, tomato and ham.
Hello, Domino's.
With a nice excellent cheddar cheese. Going in the oven.
Hand in hand, building castles out of sand.
The finished results. And don't worry, we're not going to eat a whole pizza each right now. We'll save for half for the delivery tomorrow.
And up high now we climb. Dreamy, breezy we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercut.
Sitting on anchor with a rather ominous sky. There is thunder and lightning around. Hopefully it doesn't track in our direction, but it is pretty close. It's a bad time to shout out "Smite me, almighty smiter."
The gloves are off, pal! Come on, let me see a little wrath. Smite me, oh mighty smiter!
So the precautions that we've taken, we've cleared our foredeck, paddleboards put away, towels stowed away, the other bits and pieces that we use during the course of a normal day. Solar panels, they're put away, tents are put away, reduced our air draft as much as we can, and we are prepped if we needed to, that we could go to sea. That would be one of my last options though. We're in a very protected, secluded bay that will give us good protection from pretty much any point around the compass. The other thing that we've done is we've extended our anchor chain, so we're sitting in, I think it was 7 meters of water. We originally put out 35 meters of anchor chain, and I've extended that out to 55 because that's how much I can get away with while we're sitting where we are. Much more than that, I'm going to be scraping the banks on each side as we swim. So we should be pretty good. I don't think we're going to have any problems with this.
That is a very compacted sand.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that where we're sitting on the bottom here, it's a compact sand. We've walked the beaches with the dog, we know what the bottom's made up of, we've swam it, and also the fish finder that we've got will give us a really good indication of what the seabed is made from. A soft bottom gives me a very different colour to a hard bottom, and we know that this isn't rock, and it's quite a dark colour on the fish finder, which is compact sand, and our anchor is truly set. We back down on it to about 3,000 RPM with the engine, which should be about 40 to 50 knots of wind. If you're doing it as a comparison, 3,000 RPM on the engine and stern, probably about 50 knots of wind. And the other thing with this anchorage, there's actually nobody in here at the moment. It is just us. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't really know. If we get into trouble, then we've got no one can assist us other than us, which we're pretty good at anyway. On the good side is that no one's going to drag their anchor into us. So it's a double-edged sword, really. Fuck me! Okay, that's enough of the storm footage, or else nobody is going to come out in the summer and pay us a visit. Sadly, we are away from our exceedingly attractive anchorage. We've motored most of the way to Mount Athos. Wind has just picked up. We're now up to 12 knots of wind. Before that we only had 4. So we're hoping this is going to be consistent for at least the next couple of hours. And that there in the distance is Mount Athos. Now, for those that are in the know, Mount Athos is a holy place for the Greeks. It even has its own time, believe it or not. No women are allowed on Mount Athos. Even female animals are not allowed on Mount Athos. Get your head around that. So we're skirting Mount Athos because obviously I've got Nat and Nelson on board and they're both girls. So we're going to go, we have to stay at least a mile away from it. It is restricted because of the monasteries on the island. and then once we're around the headland in the distance, we will turn to port directly into wind. The whole area is just laced with paths and trails and small roadways leading to numerous monasteries. We're putting the cutter sail up, and the reason we're doing that is because we've got 20 knots of wind on the nose. We're going to come around about 40 degrees into wind, so we can sail some of it, put some pressure into the sails. This people. Unfortunately, Natalie is not very well. I'm not sure what she's gone down with, possibly COVID. We have been in a rather busy harbour for the last 2 or 3 days, and possibly we've come into contact with it. Anyway, she is currently just laid in bed. She's quite lifeless at the moment, and unfortunately for her, it's a heat wave. And I've been trying to keep the boat as cool as possible. We have our tents deployed. And the other thing that you can do, if any of you ever have this problem, it's an old trick for keeping life rafts cooler if you're trapped in the tropics, by spraying water over your canopy. You actually keep your boat significantly cooler by spraying the canopies down, because the water has to evaporate before the heat goes through the tent. And if the heat doesn't go through the tent, it doesn't go into the cabin. All I'm doing every once in a while is just wetting these canvases down to keep the temperature down so that she's a bit more comfortable. And once again this week, a big thank you to our monthly supporters on Ko-fi, namely Captain Svetlana and David L. Thank you very much. We'd also like to thank our Patreon captains, Matt Clark and Michael Barries. You guys really do go the extra mile to keep these videos rolling.